until the battle's won. No one's gonna get something to us. Into each other we put our trust. Standing united after the fight. It's a brand new day. We have turned the page. Never knew how much I needed somebody to help me this way. Alone, we will never be. The two of us are holding the key. We see today a world we couldn't see. Before I say goodbye to you, one more last fist bump.
How's it going, folks? Hope you're having a lovely day. I am Nathaniel Rumplejanc. Welcome to a Sunday night live stream, guys. I haven't had a live stream at night in quite some time, let alone on Sunday night. Big reason it happens tonight is just because, hey, my fiance is hanging out with a friend. So, hey, I have my evening free. Normally, I would be chilling with her and maybe Netflix and chilling, but instead, I'm here streaming with you guys. So, you know what? Let's just go over some big stories from, like, the past week in news. These stories that I find to be pretty big and pretty interesting. But before we get into that, obviously, we shout out everyone who has said something in the chat today. So, Maxim's stuff is here. Colin Bogan, the gamer. Ultimate Keymaster, nice to see you, man. I know you don't catch my streams very often anymore since they tend to happen during the day, but welcome. Let's see here. Gold Pop-Tart is here. What a name. Gold Pop-Tart. Sexy TR fan. TR. I'm trying to figure out what TR is. Tomb Raider? Maybe? Let's see here. Research Flat Earth. What a name is here. Saying that they love their Nintendo Switch Lite. That's awesome. I'm glad that you love it. Ricardo Williams is here as well. Sweet Life of Dio Brando stops in to say goodnight. If you're going to bed, man, good night. Sonic Forces 2017 is here. Rubber Duck as well. Risky Chris. How's it going, man? Work is most often an afternoon shift. Yeah, I understand that. Tomb Raider, yes, I got it right. See, I had to think about it for a moment. I'm like, why does that sound familiar? Tomb Raider, cool. Michael Sanders is here shouting Eagles. It's all right. You could rub the Eagles beating of the Packers in my face today. It's all good. It's all good. It is what it is. Has my Switch battery deteriorated at all? Before I got rid of my Switch, no, it did not. But that's me. Not everyone is that fortunate. All right. How you guys doing today? We have Ultimate Keymaster has a problem. After beating Link's Awakening, I got Dragon Quest 11 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 5. Oh my gosh. You're going to be in RPG heaven for a long time, dude. Those RPGs are all super long. So good luck with that. All right, so we'll get into the first three topics. Well, basically, I have three big topics we'll talk about from this past week. And then from that, we will go into a Q&A section where you guys can ask whatever questions you want. If you ask questions before then, if it's about the specific topics, we'll cover it then. Otherwise, I will try to answer those questions later. I try to answer every question that's asked. The stream should be about an hour and a half. It's probably not going to go past midnight. Just because I have to wake up with my kids tomorrow and get them off to school, and I don't want to be up that super late. All right, so the first topic, the topic we have covered twice at the channel over the past week, including today, and that's the Switch Lite drifting issue. I think by this point everyone knows what's going on. The Switch Lite control sticks have the exact same design as the ones inside the Joy-Cons, so of course they're drifting or starting to drift, and more people are experiencing drifting every single day. This isn't really shocking because it's literally the same sticks that are inside the Joy-Cons, and the Joy-Cons have a well-known drifting problem. So it doesn't mean you're ever going to experience a drifting problem. Of course, it's different for everyone. The sticks wear differently for everyone. No one's really sure exactly what you do with the sticks to make them wear in the way that makes them drift, whether it's how hard you push them in, with the button presses, or how hard you're twisting it around, or I have no idea. Honestly, no one has really figured out exactly what sort of behavior causes the drifting, just that it has something to do with the design of the mechanism, and that design didn't change in the Lite. So it has actually joined a class action lawsuit, as I put up today in a video, and it's the same lawsuit that's been going on for the Joy-Cons themselves. I'm not going to tell you that you should join that lawsuit because you have to give up some rights with your Switch to do that. Something like, you have to void your warranty, basically, and void the terms of service and all that to join that lawsuit, because once you're part of that lawsuit, Nintendo is no longer going to service your product. That's not shocking or surprising, I don't think, because, when you're joining a lawsuit against Nintendo, they're not exactly going to be super friendly towards you. But that's neither here nor there. I'm going to also tell you the drink, because most class action lawsuits, they profit the lawyer the most. That's generally what happens, is the law firm makes the most amount of money. But I honestly think that it's not about the lawsuit. Like, for anyone who joins that class action lawsuit, like if I joined it personally, it wouldn't be about getting my Switch fixed or anything other than getting Nintendo to have to publicly recognize, because they've yet to do it publicly recognize that this is a major problem. All they've ever said is they're aware of the issues. That's the only public statement they have. Everything else we heard comes from an internal memo. So we have not heard anything publicly stated by Nintendo admitting that there is an issue. So what we need is Nintendo to publicly acknowledge and maybe even apologize for that issue, and then make a statement that they are planning to fix it in future Switches, and once the current runs are sold out, like future Switch models will have better sticks. I think that's the hope I would have if I joined that class action lawsuit, is just to force Nintendo to have to address it, rather than care about getting my money back from my Switch or whatever people might be seeking in damages. I'm not exactly 100% sure. Everyone has their own motivations for joining class action lawsuits. I was actually inadvertently part of a class action lawsuit against a former college university of mine, DeVry, because they falsely advertised a bunch of stuff. And I remember specifically seeing those ads, and that being one of the reasons that I attended that university. It doesn't mean that I think DeVry is a crappy university, but I do feel like they misled me in recruiting me to be a student there, which is weird to be recruited as a student, but I was recruited to be a student there, and I was part of a class action lawsuit with that, and I got like $900 out of it or something. Whereas the law firm I know made millions, but there was thousands of the students that got a nice little check out of that. So I guess if that's all people want, is a nice little check and move on with their day. Maybe that's why they would do that. But I honestly am not surprised. I understand if you guys don't want to buy Switch Lites because of it. I personally was never going to buy a Switch Lite anyways, not for me. But it's a little disappointing anyways that Nintendo has not done anything, almost 3 years in now, to address this issue that's been there since day one. So it could be really complicated to address, maybe because there's not a lot of room for the sticks in there. Maybe it requires a complete redesign of the Joy-Cons. I have no idea. But it would be nice to see Nintendo at least acknowledge that they want to fix it, even if it never gets fixed. Although I guess then there's just a false promise. So maybe it's better to them not to acknowledge it until they plan to fix it, but it is what it is. Corey Bomas here. How's it going, man? No dress tonight. The dress is actually sitting on my table over here. For those who don't know, I did a live stream on Saturday or Friday, one of the 2 days, I can't remember. I think it was Friday, with my fiance, and someone donated $20, and that my fiance chose for me to wear a dress for that $20. It was, needless to say, that stream has been deleted. I'm sure someone screen capped it, and it's going to reappear at some point in my future. But for now, I am trying to forget the memory of that dress. But thank you, Corey, for bringing nightmares back into my brain. On the McKee Masters. Whoa, I just noticed 46,000 subs. Yeah, we're actually at, hold on, let me give you a more exact number, because you guys can no longer see exact numbers because YouTube thought it was a brilliant idea. Hold on, texting my fiance, she sent me something. All right. So, yeah, let me see. The exact number of subs is... Now, that's the original reason I checked my phone. Thanks. I don't know why YouTube made that decision. It's dumb. 46,070 subs is the official number. So, I could see it and you guys can't. I think it's dumb that they hit it in the first place. So, it's going to sit there and say 46,000 subs on there until I hit 47. Then it'll say 47,000. It's dumb. I don't know why YouTube made the change, but it is what it is. Jacob Roman is here. How's it going, man? How I've been doing the last few days? I've been doing all right. It's been like the weekend. I spent a lot of time with my kids and my family and stuff. So, all right, cool. So, I guess do any of you guys own a Switch Lite? Have you experienced any drifting issues? Are you even concerned about it? Have you just accepted that, oh, whatever, I have that 1-year warranty. It is what it is. I'll just deal with it. Because I think as Switch owners, we kind of have to accept that, hey, you know what, there is a chance we can get drift. And that's either going to make us not buy a Switch or it's going to make us just get one anyways and just realize we might have to buy new Joy-Con someday. I mean, heck, have you guys experienced drift at all? Even with the standard Switch, even with this Switch back here. Like, have you experienced drift? It's kind of a interesting debate to talk about just because I think it is a major problem. I've experienced drift. Like, on 3 different sets of Joy-Cons I've experienced drift. So, and I've had it happen on the right and the left. Ultimate Keymasters had drift for sure. Yeah. When I did a poll on this a while back, there was like 60% of my audience or something experienced drift. So it was quite a few people on my channel anyways. Now I'm a relatively small channel, so probably not a great sample size. But I have seen entire studies and articles posted with smaller sample sizes and trying to draw conclusions from it. So Rubber Ducks had drift on 6 different Joy-Cons. Damn, I thought I was a lot with 4 because I've had 3 left and 1 right Joy-Con do it. Stephen M has experienced drift on 3 Joy-Cons, and you replace the sticks on each one. Sonic Forces 2017 said he had drift, but then he used my contact cleaner solution that I made a video about that does work. It won't work forever, but it does a pretty good job. Fire Soul. Hey, Fire Soul. How's it going, man? I haven't seen you in ages. Welcome back to the stream, one of our OG mods. I've gone through 2 sets of Joy-Cons. All have drift except for my right green Joy-Con. Jeez. I'm not surprised. You're a pretty hardcore gamer, man. You get pretty serious in your gaming. I'm not too surprised that you're probably pretty heavy on your stick use because you play a lot. Competitive and all that. I'm guessing you meant 3 sets, nearly unusable. Jeez. Yeah. I mean, the 3 that I had, the contact cleaner worked on it, but electrical contact cleaner worked on it, but I don't have the sets anymore. I kind of fixed them just so I could sell them and it could be someone else's problem. It's kind of crappy, but I mean, I have a Switch Lite, no drift so far, but I've watched several teardowns, so I can replace the sticks. Yeah, I mean, it's not that hard to replace. I think it's even easier, to be honest, in the Switch Lite to replace the sticks than in the actual Joy-Cons. But I don't even think it's that hard to replace them in the actual Joy-Cons. But I don't mind taking apart electronics and messing with stuff and putting them back together. Like, I enjoy that. I've been doing that for years. I used to do computer repair. So that doesn't bother me. It's just, I think for the average consumer, that's not really an option for them. Just one worse there? Jeez. I have worse drift on my second pair because I left the first alone at the sign of trouble, but I gave up and got a Pro Controller. Yeah, my only issue with the Pro Controller has always been the stick grind. I wish they would fix that. But I mean, I've actually fixed it myself and just got like this third-party one that I have not hit any stick ride issues with. But now I just gotta go get a new Switch before I can't really complain about much right at this moment until I get my new Switch in. Let's see here. Prefer playing handheld, but only play docked now since the Pro Controller works perfectly fine. Yeah, I can't blame you, man. It sounds like you've really destroyed those sticks. I do have electrical contact cleaner, but I never actually extensively tested them. I already bought the Pro Controller. Yeah, I understand that. It's just a cheap solution that works temporarily for you know. I mean, it might work up to a year or something. I never had issue with mine after I used it, but I knew it's just temporary. It's not gonna fix it for good. Dangerous Brian 00, welcome. And he says, I have to admit I only use my Switch in docked mode, and I use a Pro Controller. When I got my first Switch, I did use the Joy-Cons and the grip, and I've yet to experience drift issues. That's good. I'm glad. I don't want people to experience drift, so I'm glad to hear that there's some people that haven't had it. Michael Roth is here as well. Welcome. He says, I've had no drift on mine. They're the Mario Red ones. Good. Good. I'm glad you haven't. I don't have any is here. Welcome. He says, I had drifting issues on 2 of my Joy-Cons, and my Switch is not even 1 year old, forcing me to get a new Pro Controller. Be sure if it's under warranty, please send those Joy-Cons in. I mean, you don't even if you live in the United States, they'll fix them anyways, even out of warranty. But if you don't, whatever, send them in. They're covered under warranty. Get them fixed. You don't have to send your whole Switch in. You can still play your Switch docked with the Pro Controller, or in tabletop mode, or whatever you prefer to do there. So I'm just telling you, if you're having issues with your Joy-Cons, send them in if it's under warranty. If you're in the U.S., you can send them in regardless, and get them fixed. I mean, they're just going to replace the sticks is all they're going to do. I mean, if you want to replace the sticks yourself, the sticks aren't that expensive. Fine. But Nintendo will literally cover shipping, and they'll have it like back to you in like a week and a half. From the moment you ship it out, and then you have it back in a week and a half. And they're basically going to be like brand new. And you have the additional warranty of they fixed it, so if something went wrong with the repair, they will also fix that. So, what's up, Juan Castillo? How's it going, man? We're talking about some drifting issues. My Pro Controller left stick stopped registering up forward at full speed. Replaced the sensor and no issue since. I put almost 900 hours in Splatoon 2 on that controller. That's a lot of hours on Splatoon 2. I mean, I've seen hours higher than that. My hours were only at like 300 or 400 on Splatoon, but my left gray Joy-Con is entirely unresponsive to down inputs. Jeez. I live in Asia. It's a pain to get replacement here, except buying a new Joy-Con. Oh, man. Is there not like is there no way to use your warranty in Asia? God, that would suck if you can't use your warranty. Because like they're unusable, so I guess if it takes a while to ship it and get it back, that shouldn't matter since they are unusable. But maybe you can't even claim them in Asia. I don't know. I only use Joy-Cons in handheld mode or to wake up my system in the that's a good typo. That's a good typo right there. Just a quick question. Can you send in both at once, or do you need to wait for individuals? You can send them both in at once. You could send in a whole bunch of them at once. If you have like 6 of them, you could send them all in at once. I don't know if they come back all at once or if they'll come back individually, but you can send them all in at once. You just got to talk to the customer service rep on the phone. They'll hook you up with all the details on that. You guys are hilarious. Oh man. All right. Also before I go into the next topic, I should let you guys know why haven't I been streaming on Mixer? I'm waiting for approval on Mixer. It's weird, right? Because we've already had streams on Mixer, but Mixer updated all their policies, and now you have to wait for permission to have a stream key, along with other permissions to like be able to even show your face, as an example. So I'm waiting for all these approvals with Mixer before I start streaming on there again. So for those of you guys that actually prefer to watch me on Mixer, or if you would like to go watch me on Mixer, you're just gonna have to wait probably like another week. Or maybe it'll be just another day. I have no idea. I mean, you can go follow me already, but I won't be able to stream until everything gets approved, which, again, isn't surprising or anything. Mixer's trying to be they're trying not to get into similar issues that Twitch has had. And they're much more restrictive, like in what you can wear. Like I can't take my shirt off, as an example, even though I'm a guy. Like I'm just not allowed to do it on Mixer. So like they're a lot more restrictive, but they're also going to probably have less controversies because of the restrictions. So I don't mind having to wait. It's whatever. It's an approval process. It's better than like on YouTube where you can't even stream to have so many subscribers. You can literally stream on Mixer right away. So it's a streaming platform. Not the end of the world. Spawnwave had that happen too. Yeah, I mean, it's weird because we were able to stream, and then all of a sudden they updated their policies and then took our ability to stream away, and then you just have to wait for approval, which, whatever, we'll get approved. I'm not worried about that. They're basically going to look at my past streams and make sure that I was following all the rules, and I was, so it's not really a big deal. How long does it usually take them to send Joy-Cons back? In the U.S., usually you send them, they get them if you send them during the week, like on a Monday, Nintendo will usually have them by Wednesday or Thursday, and you'll have them back by the following Wednesday. So it's usually about a week and a half process to send them and get them back, because they're not backed up with repairs. They get them done like this. So, but you'll get a better time frame exactly for your area where you're shipping from when you call customer service and make the claim on it. Once you do that, they'll actually tell you, hey, this is how you should have it back then. They don't promise an exact date, but they'll be like, hey, it should be about a week and a half, 2 weeks at most. So, and if they're unusable anyways, it shouldn't really matter since you can't use them. But it would be nice to obviously get them back as fast as possible, and it's free. In the U.S., especially, even out of warranty, it's free. In here, warranty only covers a defective Switch. Apparently, Joy-Con Drift is not one of them. But your Joy-Cons are defective because the joysticks aren't functioning properly. So you're saying the Joy-Cons aren't covered at all? Like half of the product you buy is not covered? That's some BS right there. I guess I don't know how things work in Asia. I don't live there, so. Mr. Phalange is here. That's pretty backed up. They're pretty backed up at the moment. Actually, I sent all my Joy-Cons on August 26th. I didn't get it back until September 20th. Really? Okay. Well, I guess I sent a pair of my Joy-Con in on August, what was it, 3rd? It was like the first week. And I got them back in a week. Let me see here. Let me look at the date. No, I sent them in on August 2nd. They didn't receive them until the 6th, and I got them back on the 12th. So I guess it was, I sent it on a Friday, which isn't ideal. But still, that wasn't that bad. It wasn't a month. Holy crud. I guess since I sent them in, people have been ramping it up. I wonder if there's been a lot of cases like Fire Soul where people have like 3, 4, 5 pairs of Joy-Cons. They're just sending them all in. Jeez. I'll repair them. I'll put new sticks in for you guys. I don't have the parts right now. I have to buy the parts, but I have all the tools to take apart Joy-Cons, and I've done them a bunch of times. I'll gladly put in new sticks for you guys. You just have to pay for it. I did that for somebody. I built somebody a computer. Let me think here. I built someone a computer, and I've also fixed 8 pairs of Joy-Cons over the last 2 years for other people. Just people I know in real life, and they just gave me a little bit of money, to buy the parts and for my trouble and my time. If you guys would like me to fix them, I got no problem. Heck, I could stream fixing them. And yes, if I break them, I'll just buy you a new one. If I break them, same color. That would be pretty bad if I wouldn't cover any mistakes I make if I break your dang Joy-Cons. Although I probably can just, whatever I break, I can just buy parts for and fix. But it's really not that hard to replace the sticks. Let's see here. I wonder if it will be fixed by the time they release Animal Crossing for Switch. Probably not, Fruit Cat. What's up, Mini Tower? You want a Nintendo Switch so bad? It's pretty awesome. There's a lot of amazing games on it. Cannot blame you for wanting it. What's up, Morrison22? I sent launch 4 Joy-Cons in, and it took 28 days to get them back. In a separate transaction, they accepted my Launch Pro controller and replaced it free of charge. It took about 8 days. Huh. The fact it's taking like a month to get your Joy-Cons back, man. They must. I hope that's a wake up call to Nintendo. Like, how many Joy-Cons are they fixing every day? Like hundreds, thousands? Man, Nintendo's gotta fix this drift issue, guys. This is so crazy. What's up, Track Zero? How's it going? This is crazy. They gotta fix it. Like, this is insane. Their own repair services are insanely backed up. How can Nintendo not fix drift? Yeah, dude, Nintendo's support team has to be mad that Nintendo isn't like trying to fix this crap, because their repair services are getting slammed. Holy crap, a month now to get your Joy-Cons fixed? That's insane. They are so backed up. Wow. Well, and to be fair, like for stick grinding, as an example, I've had stick grinding issues with Pro Controllers before. It's really easy. Like, I said replacing sticks inside Joy-Cons are easy. It's actually difficult compared to most controllers. The Switch Pro Controller in particular, it's like a joke to replace the stick. Like, literally remove a few screws and boom, pop the stick off, put a new one in. It's so easy. But on the Pro Controller, it's a bit more involved. On the Joy-Cons, it's a bit more involved because you have to take some other parts apart. You have to remove like ribbon cables, and it's a little bit more complicated. I've done more complicated board repair stuff before, so like to me, it's like, yeah, it's a little finicky, but it's not like the end of the world, you know. Let me see here. I have a Switch Lite for over a week, and I have no drifting issues with my Switch. That's good, XPlay. I'm glad, man. My Pro Controller drifted so badly. I've never had a drifting issue with the Pro Controller, but I have had a massive stick grind problem. They basically turned the repair service into a factory for one problem. That's what it feels like, doesn't it? All right. I guess we could sit here and talk about drift all day, but I've already done a couple of videos on it, and you guys can bring it back up in the Q&A section if you want of this stream. I kind of want to get into the next topic, and that is Satoru Iwata. There was apparently something that wasn't known publicly at the time, but Satoru Iwata requested of Square Enix and the Dragon Quest team while he was sick. He made a request to them to put Dragon Quest 11 on Nintendo Switch. He just said, hey, I would really like to see Dragon Quest 11 be put on Switch. This is according to the developers. In fact, let me read the exact translation. It says, there was a time late Nintendo President Satoru Iwata spoke to them about the Nintendo Switch way before it was revealed in October 2016. Though the developers didn't know what the Switch was called at that time. Iwata told them it was a game console that could be played at home and on the go. Before the game was officially announced in July of 2015, Satoru Iwata requested them to also bring Dragon Quest XI to Switch. And that is, after that request, Square Enix complied, and they announced that the game was being considered for the NX at that time. A few years later, the developer said they had finally fulfilled their promise to Iwata with the launch of Dragon Quest XI-S. Obviously, Iwata is no longer here with us today. Rest in peace, man. But yeah, that happened like right at the end. That's like right at the end, like right before. This is basically right before Satoru. This is like on his deathbed. Satoru Iwata is basically on his deathbed in the hospital, talking to developers at Square Enix and saying, "Hey, like it'd be really great if you brought Dragon Quest XI to our new system that's coming out." That's, I mean, that hits you right in the feels that like Satoru Iwata made a request, and now it kind of makes sense. Like why did they say they were considering it for NX way back in the day? You know, you didn't even know what Switch was, and now we know because Satoru Iwata, you know, made a request and then he passed away. Like, how do you not fulfill like the last request of such a legend like that in the industry? Like, running one of the biggest companies in the world for video games, and he makes a request of you, and then all of a sudden he passes. Like, how do you not fulfill that request? And I bet you from that moment on, Square Enix always knew that we're going to try to bring Dragon Quest XI to Switch come hell or high water. And then it turned out that they even did them a solid and gave us the best version of Dragon Quest XI. You know, from the 16-bit mode or whatever, and and the additional content and all the reorchestrated music. It's just good on you, Square Enix. I mean, seriously, good on you, Square Enix and the Dragon Quest team for fulfilling Satoru Iwata's last request. It's touching, it's meaningful. It shows that in this world of video games where every company is so worried about money, including Nintendo, like what they're doing on Mario Kart Tour, it's all about making money, right? The industry is driven by money. Any for-profit industry is driven by money. Heck, even some charity industries are driven by money, which is stupid. But I think that this also shows that also within the industry, people have a heart and they care about each other. They legitimately respect and care. And we see this at times too. We'll see, certain executives from Sony or Microsoft cheer on their competitors when something big happens. And some of us just pass it off as, they're just trying to get good PR. But it's also possible that they also just have a deep respect for each other and what these people have done in this industry. And Iwata himself has, probably one of the most respected CEOs ever, because he was literally on the ground floor as a game developer, and not just any game developer. Not he's a grunt. He was considered a mastermind, a wizard at coding when it came to games. I mean, he's the reason that Smash Bros. Can even exist. It wasn't even possible on the N64 until he touched the game. He's the reason that Pokemon was able to be on Game Boy. He was so masterful in his ability to code and understand hardware at a fundamental level that it's hard for him not to garner respect from everyone in the industry. And then obviously, that he spurned on the Wii era, which is the most successful era that any company has ever had. That Wii DS era combined, PlayStation, Microsoft, no one has ever been as successful as Nintendo was during that era. And just in terms of video game success, on just the video game side. Sony's been more successful as a company, but I mean just in terms of video games. And, I can go on and on listing all of his accomplishments and also his pitfalls. No one's perfect. There are mistakes made. But it's nice to see that, still today in this money-grubbing world, that there's a human aspect to some of this, and that the Dragon Quest XI team, more than anything, when that game launched, they were proud to have fulfilled that promise to Iwata that maybe they thought at times they might not be able to fulfill. So, good on you guys. I'm glad Dragon Quest XI S is on Switch. Definitive Edition. Sorry, it's a longer name. And I hope that you guys that are playing it are really enjoying it. I know this might seem stupid, but just because of this promise fulfilled to Iwata, I'm going to be picking up Dragon Quest XI S as soon as I'm able to, because I think it's I have such a deep you guys saw, some of you guys probably saw my video when Iwata passed. He meant a lot to me growing up. I wonder if he was even meant more to me than Shigeru Miyamoto. It's just the level of respect I had for that man was just out of this world. And so knowing that this was something he requested of them while he was dying, and it was fulfilled is touching. And I want to support that. And plus, it's a really great port. I've heard nothing but great things about the port itself. So it's also an amazing port. So I really want to support that kind of really good port job, that high quality of experience, and that sort of promise, promises made to people in this industry that aren't necessarily always about money. So I want to support that as well. So I plan to pick up the game as soon as I'm able. Maybe I'll even end up getting it before I get Link's Awakening. I have no idea, but we'll see. Supreme Nacho is here. Hey, did he lose a bit of weight? Yes, 42 pounds. I'm not exactly sure if I've lost more than that yet. I haven't stepped on the scale in a few days. But 42 pounds. Do I look like I've lost more weight? I have no idea. I think I look like I've lost a little weight, but then that's because I know the clothes I'm wearing are like this shirt on me. This shirt used to be not tight, but never this loose. See how loose this is? It was never this loose. It was more like maybe like this, where you had a little bit of movement. Now I've got so I know I've lost some weight. I know that a lot of my clothes fit better. Some of my double XL clothes don't really fit that well at all. But that's part of losing weight. I know I fit into size. I technically fit in the size 38 jeans, and there's one pair of size 36 jeans I own that's probably a little stretched, and that might be why they fit, but whatever. I fit in them, and I haven't been able to fit in those in 4 years. So things are going well in my weight loss, so I just got to keep it going. Got to knock on wood and keep going. And this is a milk, actually. I don't have milk very often, but I made a little homemade chili today, and I ate that just before the stream started. And I find that milk tends to go really well with chili for some reason. I don't know why. It's weird. It's not like it's super spicy, so I'm not like, oh my gosh, I need to make my mouth not be so hot. But I don't know. It just goes well with chili for me. I literally hardly ever have milk. This is like my second glass of milk in the last 2 weeks. It's usually just water I'm drinking all the time. But let's see here. See what some of the chat is saying here. I don't think Mario Kart Tour is that bad of a game. It would be perfectly fine for me if 200cc wasn't left behind a monthly pay. Yeah. Thanks, Juan Castillo. I'm going to try to keep it up. Drinkless 11 so far is fantastic, so I'm happy to have 11S. Nice. Remember when you get a new Switch, there's a very hefty demo. Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard about that demo, so I do know I'm going to be downloading that demo, and I know the save data transfers to the full game. So I'm definitely going to be getting the demo the moment my new Switch is in my hands. Once I get all my other games installed. Because I'm going to have to buy a memory card, too. Probably get a 512. I would love to get the 1 terabyte memory card, but God, it's so expensive. It's like $400. Monthly Gamers here. How's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. So anyways, that was a pretty cool story. Let me see. What's the last topic I had for this stream? Was Nintendo stinks. Oh man, look, our friend Nintendo Sucks is back. I'm so happy that Craptendo's getting a lawsuit. They will have to pay billions for their crimes against humanity, and they will go bankrupt. Nintendo sucks. Not only will they not have to pay billions, they're not going to go bankrupt. And they deal with class action lawsuits and various lawsuits literally all the time. They're not going to go bankrupt. I'm so glad EA also ditched the Craptendo Switch with a terrible FIFA 19 demo. Anytime that you're showing happiness for EA and shade for Nintendo lets me know how jaded you are against a certain company, because EA has plenty of its own reasons to be pretty pissed at them. I don't think I'm going to buy Mario Kart Tour for right now. My phone is... See, I've been playing some Mario Kart Tour. I have fun with it for what it is. All right. So the last bit of news, I guess, to bring up that I want to talk about from this past week is about Nintendo's stock drop. Oh, he's a troll. He's a user who used to be Nintendo Sucks. He's had like 18 different accounts and they've all been banned. Anyways, Nintendo stock drop. So some big news that happened this past week was obviously the Nintendo Switch Lite launched, and we got launch sales out of Japan. And what happened with the launch sales is it caused Nintendo's stock prices to drop 4%, even though they sold like 170,000 plus Switches in Japan. Now, this is the only place we had numbers, and those numbers are what caused the stock drop. And 4% is a really big drop in a single day. And it was because it's really weird how it happened. I'm just going to kind of read the story on what happened, because we learned from Dr. Surkin Toto. He explained why Switch Lite sales data is a big joke at best, and it was a scandal at worst, and what led to the entire debacle with the Nintendo losing so much price. So early Switch Lite sales data came in at the start of the week, and it put the platform at 114,000 units sold in 3 days. That's not a bad number, but it's lighter than some would expect. That figure will put the Switch Lite somewhere around the 10th spot in the additional hardware SKU launches in Japan. This is like best launches ever kind of thing. Once again, depending on how you group hardware together. Now that 114K figure still wouldn't be enough to cause such a major stock drop to those who follow data, but according to Dr. Serkin Toto, who works in Japan, the issues really stem from comments by Citi, coupled with Bloomberg reporting. Bloomberg put together a feature on Switch Lite sales saying that the numbers were soft based on a comment from Citi. Citi had put their estimates for launch sales in Japan at 300,000 units, which is a figure totally detached from reality, according to Toto. We are certainly inclined to agree, as the best result for additional hardware SKUs in Japan would be the new 3DS and new 3DS XL, which in the first 2 days on the market hit 233,000 units. To expect the Switch Lite to reach 300,000 in 3 days based on one SKU certainly seems near impossible, if not highly improbable. Taking things a step further, the Switch originally launched in Japan with 330K units in its first week. To think a hardware revision would match literal week 1 launch sales for a brand new platform seems absolutely insane. But that's what Citi was thinking. The situation gets even weirder with Bloomberg. The company ended up quietly correcting their initial 114K hardware number to the figure of 161K, which is also less than what Famitsu said, and did so without any fanfare or expanded statement on the matter. They literally just edited the article and left it at that. No notes. As Dr. Serkin Toto says, oops, we were a mere 40 off by a mere 41% because the numbers were only preliminary. And because of that, we caused a drop of 4% in a U.S. $50 billion company. Basically, Bloomberg and Citi screwed up, and that's what made the stock drop. The actual Switch Lite performed, once the final numbers came in, actually performed above what should have been expected. So, yeah. Needless to say, that's oops. So Citigroup made a very outlandish prediction that should have never been made, and Bloomberg screwed up their reporting by reporting well under. At least 161,000, which is still less than what it's actually sold, is much closer to the actual numbers. So, like, these two F-ups caused the entire stock to drop when there was no realistic reasoning. No other analyst was projecting this. There was no other serious group, but that's how big of a... Here's the thing. Bloomberg has a huge impact on the stock market, as does Citigroup. And sometimes these companies have too much power in the stock market because when they make mistakes like this, it really affects things that shouldn't be affected. So, oh man, Nintendo stinks is probably going to end up getting banned here. He says, the stocks are dropping because the businessmen are realizing that Nintendo is doomed. That's why Nintendo's a multi-billion-dollar company that has only had 2 years of profit loss in the entire history of the company. For the entire 30-plus years Nintendo's been in the video game industry, only 2 years ever has Nintendo not made money. So, cool. He's just gonna get banned. It's all good. I know who he is. It's just another one of those accounts. I don't want to spend this whole stream wasting my time with him. Your Switch Joy-Cons drifting, Johnny Hernandez. Oh, that sucks, man. Lite hasn't sold much out here. Heard a customer say they'd rather get a Switch for his kids to share instead of getting them each Lites instead to see how interested this sells in the holidays. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Does Nate like the Tranquil Fury? Every now and then I like talking to trolls. It can be fun, but we're good today. Anyways, that's kind of the story. So basically, Nintendo Switch stock prices dropped because two companies screwed up, and neither one of those companies were Nintendo. Who would play FIFA anyways? It's a shell of what it really is on other platforms. There's a lot of people that'll still play it. What you have to consider, Fruit Cap. The way that FIFA's been selling enough for them to bring it every year. The reason that it sells enough for people to be bought every year and for them to bring it every year is because people want to play it on the go. And it is literally the best version of FIFA on the go. If you ever played FIFA on your phone, you would understand how much better the Switch version is. So it sucks because it's not worth the money they're charging for it, but the bottom line is that have you played Madden on 3DS? There's a reason they didn't bring Madden back after the first year. It was not a good game. Let alone, forget about future parity. It wasn't a good game. At least FIFA on Switch is a decent game. Like a decent game at its core. It's just not what current FIFA is. It's old school FIFA, which is still pretty good. Like FIFA's always been pretty good. So of course it's pretty good. The modes it's missing is because those modes only were built in a different engine that for some reason they won't bring over to Switch, even though they have it on phones. It's dumb. But all right. So at this point, you guys can go ahead and ask questions. Q&A time. Hit me up with your Q&A questions. Whatever you guys are thinking, whatever's on your mind, whatever you want to ask, just at me in the chat. Just go, at Nintendo Prime in the chat, and I will answer your questions. I'll give you guys a moment to get some questions in, because I got to answer a text from my fiance here. All right. Jacob Roman, welcome. He says, do you think the Switch Pro will drop around the same time that the other next generation consoles are going to, say holiday 2020? I'm not even sure the Switch Pro exists, but if it does, it could, and it would make sense. But I don't know. It might launch before then. I have a feeling like it would probably more likely launch before holiday 2020 rather than during holiday 2020, like summer next year. But we'll see. We have to know the thing exists first. I know there's evidence out there, and there's some reports and all this, but Nintendo cancels things all the time. They also literally announced a Wii Vitality sensor and showed it off, and we got to see it, and that never came out. So even if Switch Pro was going to be a thing, doesn't mean it's ever going to come out publicly. So let's wait till it's announced, and then if they don't give a date, then we can kind of speculate on when it's going to come. Let's see here. Track Zero says, is your room warm or cold? My window's open right now, but I'd say it's because of the lights. The lights are really beating on me. So my studio light. So it's probably it's pretty warm. I feel warm. But for some people, this would probably be cold because it's a little chilly outside and the window's open, letting cold air in. So for some people, it'll be a little chilly. I'm comfortable. I'll just say that. I'm comfortable. But I like things to be a little colder. So I don't know. Let me see here. Are you good, bro? Been seeing the drama heavy lately? I'm good. I think the drama you're talking about is just the critics that criticize that we accept donations. By the way, donation links down in the description. Streamlabs and direct to PayPal. That brings up the October goal stuff. Although I gotta change this. There's no egg smash anymore. That was from the other stream, where my fiance would smash eggs on my head for every $10. It was crazy. But let me. It's gross. There's actually still some egg on my desk I gotta wash off. This is gross. Now that I'm actually looking around my desk, because I haven't been down here since then. Well, until earlier today. Oh, come on, there it is. Let me edit that. Egg smash. Goodbye. You can request music, however, for donations and super chats and all that as well. I didn't mention that yet today. I haven't even talked about donations today, but that's what all the drama has basically been around, because I tell people, hey, you can donate money if you'd like to help, and I happen to mention that I'm having some hard financial times due to my heart attacks, and then people are like, oh my god, such an e-bagger, what a piece of shit. I got whatever. I got a job outside of YouTube. It's all cool. It's just not what I was making before, because I can't work what I was doing before. But anyways, doesn't really matter. You've got to donate, you donate. Super chat, you super chat. If you don't, you don't. It's whatever. We move on with our day. But I'm good. Was your lunch not? I mean, what was my lunch not what? Do we know U.S. Lite sales? No, we will not know that until around the middle of October. Usually about October 15th or so is when we should know. Powerful Aura says, do you have a forecast, or ask, I should say, do you have a forecast for third-party software support on Switch? Do you think it's currently at an acceptable level? What are some third-party games you've enjoyed recently? So this is a loaded one here. Let me just tackle this. Do you have a forecast for third-party support on Switch? I assume you mean, I think it's going to get better or worse in 2020. I think it's going to get better in 2020, and then we'll see what happens in 2021. I don't know how much the new gen systems are going to affect things, but I think 2020 we're safe. Whatever we're going to get is going to get. I don't know if we'll ever get a Call of Duty or ever get anything else. I know there's the whole Switch is listed on the Call of Duty website. I understand that, but that could just be for a re-release or a legacy release or something. In terms of new games, I don't know if we'll ever get a new Call of Duty, but I do think that that third-party support's only going to keep increasing over the next year, and that this year's basically been the best year of third-party support yet. I think next year is going to be the best yet as well, and then we'll see what happens. It could fall off after that, or it could keep getting better and better. Do I think it's currently at an acceptable level? I mean, I don't think an acceptable level exists that isn't full third-party support. Like, to me, the only acceptable level is to be treated as an equal. So it is to have any multi-platform AAA third-party game should also be on Switch. That is equal level treatment. That, to me, is what's acceptable. Anything below that is unacceptable. That being said, I'm pretty happy with the support we do get. I don't mind late ports. That doesn't bother me. But I mean, I'm happy in general with the support we do get. I do think we need more day-and-date releases. I think they'd perform even better, as we saw with Mortal Kombat 11. I think they would just really blow up on Switch if they could release day-and-date with the other platforms. So I don't think it's at an acceptable level, but I also have really high standards for what an acceptable level is, because there's basically, you're either getting equal treatment or you're not. And if you're not, it's not acceptable. So, but I think what we're getting is fine, and I think most people are going to be happy with it. Let me see here. What are some third-party games I've enjoyed recently? Most recently was Madden. I wish Madden was on Switch. I've been playing Madden on my PC. That's what I've been playing a lot recently. Otherwise, some other PC games. I played some old-school Lords of the Realm 2 the other day. Love Lords of the Realm 2, man. Old-school game, but I love that one. So those are kind of the games I've been playing over the past couple weeks. So wish Madden was on Switch. Oh, man, I really wish it was on Switch. Fire Soul says, how do you feel about Ash finally winning a league? Don't know if you talked about this. And also, have you seen the designs for the Gen 8 anime? I have not looked at the Gen 8 anime, so I can't comment on that. I am aware of Ash finally winning the league. I didn't watch the show for it. But I believe it's the first time he's ever been champion of any league. I know he's had like some top 5 finishes, top 8 finishes before. I think he even had a runner-up finish at one point. I stopped paying attention to anime a long time ago. This is just like off the top of my head when the story popped up in my feed that I was kind of looking up where he finished in other leagues. I'm honestly surprised that it didn't happen sooner. I know it was kind of an ongoing joke that like Ash is never the champion. Like, he's not really the champion. You could be a Pokemon master without being a champion, but it is nice to see that, you know, I guess if you've been following the anime for the last 20 years, it's probably a pretty nice feeling to know that the main protagonist has finally become champion. I'm sure that made a lot of people happy because Ash has obviously been through a lot in the anime, and it feels like he is deserving to be champion at some point. So, let's see here. Kelly Lewis Brown says, is Switch Lite worth getting? I don't have a Switch yet, wanting to upgrade. I'm in UK and wondering if drift issue is in Europe too. Drift issue is universal. All the systems, none of the systems are made, like, they're not made in Europe. They're not made in the United States. They're all made out in China and Taiwan. So we're all getting the same Switches. So yes, it still has the problem. Here's the thing. You want to save money, you get a Switch Lite. If you're never going to play in TV mode, get a Switch Lite. It's worth getting. It's going to have the same drifting issues as the standard Switch anyways. And it's easier to self-repair, and you'll be covered by the 1-year warranty anyways. So if you want to get a Switch and you don't care about TV mode, absolutely get a Switch Lite. I will tell anyone right now, if you do not care about playing on your TV, don't care about live streaming or recording gameplay, which you need TV mode to do, get a Switch Lite. It's cheaper. It's better built. I'd say better battery life, but now like the OG Switch is being phased out by the red version, and that red version is the red box version is better than the Switch Lite battery life. But get a Switch Lite, save the money, buy more games. That's what I'll always say. Because I mean the drift issues are there on everything with Switch. No matter what Switch you got, they exist. So. And I'll tell you right now, self-repair. And by the way, before you even do self-repair, if you don't want it, electrical contact cleaner. I'm telling you guys, electrical contact cleaner will take care of your drifting for a little while anyways. It'll extend the life of it before you need to get a real repair done. Grand Theft Auto 3 coming to a new platform means Xbox or Nintendo Switch. Or both. Ultimate Keymaster says, we know what new and recently games you're generally excited for. Well, not everyone knows that, but some people do. But what confirmed ports are you excited for? Okay, Doom Eternal doesn't count. Well, if you're gonna take away Doom Eternal, what confirmed ports am I excited about? The Witcher 3. That's really it. It's like the Doom Eternal, Dragon Quest 11, and The Witcher 3 were like my big ones. There's that remake. But it's not really a port at that point because then like everyone's getting the remake at once of that Mana game that I'm kind of excited for too. But I think I want to get the physical collection of Mana and play the original sequel, The Secret of Mana, before I dive into the remake version. Are the Lions legit? They came close to beating KC. I think the Lions are pretty good. The Lions have always been a highly talented team that underperforms. Is this the year they stop underperforming? I don't know. I saw them make a lot of the same old boneheaded mistakes that caused the loss to KC in the first place. Then again, KC's one of the best teams in the NFL, so the fact that Lions were even in the lead late is impressive. So there's a lot of things with the Detroit Lions that are very fascinating because they should be good every year, but they always fall short. So we'll see. Maybe they finally have their heads out of their butts after, a decade. And they're going to put it together for a season. I don't know. We'll see. All I know is the NFC North is extremely exciting because all four of the teams legitimately could have over 500 records, and that's pretty crazy. Let's see here. Did you hear about the Sonic the Hedgehog in Super Monkey Ball BBHG thing? Think it's real? I did not hear about that, so I can't talk about it. Was my lunch hot? Well, yeah. I had a hot lunch. Glad you're cool. Got work in the morning. Peace. Later, Monthly Gamer. The Switch is killing it. I think the Switch is going to win MPD when the month is over. Well, the Switch has won MPD every single month of the year. So that's not really that big of a prediction since literally nothing else has been at the top of the MPD but Switch in 2019. Here in Chile, they charge $315 US for the Switch Lite. Jeez. That sucks, man. That sucks. Let's see here. Oh, Prince of Persia games are nice. Ash could finally join literally every other real-life human as a Pokemon champion, which is like probably 1/8 of the human population by now, probably. You enjoy Fortnite on the Switch? Yeah, Fortnite's alright. Resident Evil 0, pretty good. When is Nintendo going to lower the price of the original Switch? Maybe never. I mean, they kept the price of Wii forever, so it's... I don't know. I wouldn't plan on it happening anytime soon, I can tell you that. Imagine getting a red box Switch from a red box. I know what you meant. You meant like getting the system itself inside the red box. Because red box is a movie/game rental kiosk. How Overwatch will work on the Nintendo Switch with the online. What do you mean how will Overwatch work with the Switch on the online? Can you explain that question, Jen? Because like, you guys realize that any game that has online can work on Switch. So what do you mean how will it work on Switch? It's not like Switch's online is harder to work with than other online. I still watch the Pokemon anime. I don't mind kids shows. I try to make fun of shows like that as well. Metal Gear Solid Phantom coming to Switch. I don't really need to start using servers and no PTP for online. At some point, people have crap internet. Does Overwatch use its own servers? I think is the idea. Overwatch, I think, does use its own servers. So, like 99% sure that Overwatch uses its own servers. But, like, even if it uses Nintendo servers, that's not really the problem. The only question would be, like, is it going to be behind the paywall? Probably, because it's a game you have to buy. Basically, only free-to-play games are the ones that aren't behind the paywall for online. And what type of voice chat will it use? Will it use Nintendo's voice chat to the online service, or will it use its own voice chat? Both are an option, and those we can't answer. But, like, anything they want to do with Overwatch Online, you can do on Switch. There's not like you have to do it a certain way on Switch that you can't on other platforms. Like, that's not really how it works. They can do whatever they want to do on Switch just like they do on the other platforms. It's just a matter of what do they want to do. Top 5 Switch games minus Breath of the Wild. Well, Breath of the Wild I wouldn't count anyways because it's technically a port, even though it's my favorite game of all time. My personal top 5. This is in no particular order because I haven't sat down to think about what the order would be, but Mario Odyssey's in there. I'd probably put Splatoon 2 in there because I really love Splatoon 2 a lot. I liked it way better than the first game. Let's see here. There's so many good games. I'm gonna put Octopath Traveler in there for now, although now I know it's ported, so like it's on other platforms. Now it's multi-platform, but you know what? It was a damn exclusive at launch, so I'm gonna count it. Octopath Traveler, love that game. Let's see here. Just cycling through. I don't have the Switch in front of me anymore to even look at the library to remember all the games I played. I played so many. I played like over 50 games on Switch. It's insane. Let's see here. Probably put Xenoblade Chronicles 2 in there for now. That one might get removed. Like that would be at number 5 on the list. If I was gonna put it in an order. That one's one that I would debatably remove. This is going to seem weird because I've only played a demo, but I'm going to put Luigi's Mansion 3 in there because I already think Luigi's Mansion 3 is going to be my game of the year. And I love the demo of Luigi's Mansion 3 so much that, heck, the demo itself might be in my top 5. I felt that way about Breath of the Wild when I played the demo back in 2016. I was like, yup, this is going to be one of my favorite games. I can already tell. And I can already tell that with Luigi's Mansion 3. So I'm going to put that in there. But again, this is without me sitting down and actually writing down and looking through my library of Switch games and reminiscing on each one. That's just literally off the top of my head. The only one for sure I know would stay in there is Mario Odyssey. It wouldn't go anywhere. Because that is one of my favorite games on Switch. But I would have to go through. I'd have to think longer if you want a more definitive list. So that's like my tentative in the moment list without me putting much thought into it. Let's see here. Yeah, it'll probably be behind Nintendo Switch Online service. I don't think there's been a paid third-party game that has online that isn't behind Nintendo Switch's online service. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I don't think there's any paid games that aren't behind it. No Mario Kart or Maker, nope. Mario Kart 8 is a port, so it would not count because that's a Wii U game, and I am not into builder games. So things like Minecraft, Mario Maker, Dragon Quest builders, not my cup of tea. Now, do I find enjoyment in Maker games here and there? Sure, but they're not really they don't really click with me like they do for others. So I don't think they're bad games. They're just not. And it's weird, too, that I'm not into builder games since I'm totally into Legos. Like, I love those little Lego sets and building these massive, awesome things. But, like, no virtual experience has ever been able to replace building with Legos. And I've tried. It's just not the same. Ultimate Keymaster's top 5. Fire Emblem Warriors Smash Ultimate, Dragon Quest 11 is probably going to be up there. Mario Odyssey, Xenoblade 2. I mean, that's, I want to put Fire Emblem Three Houses in too, but I haven't played it yet. So, like, there are games like Astral Chain, Fire Emblem Three Houses, Daemon X Machina, these games that I need to actually play. So, I mean, because they could very well all be in my top 5. I have no idea. I have to play them. So, this is what happens when you don't have a Switch, when all these big name games are coming out, is I'm really missing out on some experiences here that could easily be in the top 5. So, like, I'm pretty sure Fire Emblem Three Houses for me will be up there. I played Fire Emblem Warriors. I think part of my problem with Fire Emblem Warriors isn't that it's a bad game, it's that it's tainted for me because I really loved Hyrule Warriors, and it's not as good as Hyrule Warriors in my opinion. So I'm like almost negatively knocking down my opinion of Fire Emblem Warriors just because it's not as good as this other Warriors game, even though Fire Emblem Warriors is still pretty damn good. But you don't have a Switch. Not right now, D-Dub. I sold it a month ago. Because I lost my job. Well, I was medically not allowed to go back to my job. And bills still come in even if you lose your job. So I had to sell everything I could readily get cash for. I'm actually surprised I didn't sell my YouTube equipment. I was pretty close to selling the camera and one of my monitors. I was going to get about $500 for the camera and the monitor. But the person who was going to buy it backed out of the sale, and then I decided that I probably shouldn't sell that stuff because I still, like, I have other monitors, so I probably could have did without the monitor. It wouldn't have been the end of the world. I have other monitors that aren't worth, like, anything that I could have hooked up. It just would have been 1080p instead of, because both these monitors I use are the exact same 24-inch or 27-inch or whatever 4K monitors. So I like having the exact same monitors here, so it doesn't look weird when I switch between monitors. But I probably could have sold one or both of the monitors. But the camera, it would have hurt selling the camera. But it was a lot easier just to, like, walk into a Craigslist thing and sell my Switch than it was to sell this stuff because the sale fell through. So where's my unemployment check? Don't get one. I did apply for unemployment, but now I'm employed again, so does it really matter? I mean, I'll eventually get some sort of $300 per week check for, like, the last month eventually. So I'll get like a $1,200 check at some point from unemployment, but it's not much. Like, my bills are $5,000 plus a month. I have five kids. I have 3 kids. House with a loan out on the house. I'm actually doing like a rent-to-own situation with the house. Car loans, student loans. I'm in college again. Blah, 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 blah. Bills just add up like crazy. So, like, I have like $5,000 in bills a month. An unemployment check where the max unemployment in Wisconsin is like $365 a week. That's not going to cover my bills. Just sorry to say, it's not going to cover my bills. So I'm already back at work at a different job. I just make less money now than I did before. So that's why money's a little tight. It's just reality right now. Once I'm fully medically cleared, I failed my heart stress test last week. So I'm not fully cleared yet for full activity. But once I am, I will be doing my thing. Let's see here. In good fun, of course. Well, yeah, it's all personal opinions on which Warriors game is better. Let's see here. Fire Soul still wants to get Astral Chain. Nice. Spyro Reignited Trilogy. Link's Awakening. Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. Sonic Mania Plus. Shovel Knight. Talking about Lego, have you played any of the Lego games on Switch? I've not played any on Switch, but I have played Lego games like Lego Star Wars. God, at E3... Speaking of Lego Star Wars, there was that Lego Star Wars game at E3. I already forgot what it's called, but I want it. I know it's not coming to Switch, and I don't care. It is amazing. It is like the greatest Lego game I've ever seen in my entire life. Plus, I really love Star Wars, and it's like all of the movies in one game. And it's open world, and it's amazing. Oh my... Ugh! I forget what it's called, but I want to get it. I got to look it up. I have... Hold on. I got my little Finn, this Lego guy. I got this at E3. They were handing this out for playing, for going to the demo of it. I was hoping it was gonna have the name of the game on it, but it's just a Star Wars Lego thing. It doesn't have the name of the guy of the game. But oh man, I really want that. The Skywalker Saga. Oh my god, it looks so good. Oh, it's the greatest Lego game I've ever seen in my life. Oh man, I love it. Love it. You wouldn't look forward to a $1,200 check? Come on now. I didn't say I wouldn't look forward to it. It's just not. It's like a drop in the bucket. It would basically, like, you see this here. This is an electric bill. It would cover this because I'm behind on my electric bill. Not the end of the world. They're not shutting anything off. It's just I'm behind on my electric bill, and that $1,200 check will take care of that. It'll be nice to have it taken care of, but like it's not like it's anything to write home about. It's like, okay, cool. Thanks for $1,200, and that's assuming I even get approved. I'm not even approved yet because I wasn't laid off, and I didn't quit. It was a medical thing. So then you apply for disability, but then when you're applying for the disability, I couldn't qualify for the disability because technically I was allowed to work. I just wasn't allowed to work that job. I had to work a different type of job. So then I got a different type of job like a week after the heart attack. Okay, fine. That's all great and dandy. But now that I got that different job, the disability's like, well, hey, look, why are we giving you money for disability if you can work? Why should we give you any money? Well, because I'm making less than half of what I was making at my old job because I'm physically unable to work, but you are able to work. So why should we give you money? Then you go to the unemployment office and you're like, hey, look, I wasn't working for this week and I'm making significantly less at this next job. Can you help compensate me? And they're just like, well, why don't you have that job? Were you laid off? No, because of a medical issue. Well, then go to disability, but the disability won't cover you. So you end up with this big conundrum where I don't even know if I'm going to get the money. Let's just be completely honest. I don't know if I'm going to get the money. It is currently all pending. I have talked to everyone on the phone I can talk to. I've gone into the offices. I am at this point now where it's so stressful for me to argue with these people over $1,200 that I don't even know if I'm going to get. It's so much stress arguing with these people that I'm almost ready to just give up, which is probably how the system works. They probably want people like me to just give up because it's just bullshit. It's all bullshit, and I don't want to deal with it anymore. It's just not worth it to me. Over $1,200, it's just going to catch up on my electric bill that I can, finish catching up on my own. So I just think it's just stupid. I hate dealing with these kind of these services that are supposed to exist to help you during times like this, and how bullshit they are in trying to deny you coverage when you need it. And that's just the way it is because everyone's money grubby and no one wants to give you anything. So it is what it is. My bills are still being paid. Besides the electric bill is the one that I'm behind on, but it's okay because we have kids in the house. They won't shut off the electric, so I could literally be behind on it for years if I wanted to, but I don't want to be. I mean, I am going to pay it, so I've never been this far behind on it ever. So I will be taking care of that. I already actually sent a payment to him 4 days ago. I sent a payment to him. And I sent a payment to him. Yeah, I sent a payment to him back when I did that fundraiser when they were threatening to shut off my electric. I sent him a payment that day. Then I talked to a person at Excel Energy and got them so they won't turn off my electric because now we're into fall. And when you get into fall in Wisconsin, they won't turn off your electric because you have kids and you have to have heat. And my heat is electric, so they're gonna keep my electric on no matter what this winter, anyways. But at the time, they were threatening to turn it off, disconnection notices, blah blah blah, and that's what I did that fundraiser for. But honestly, I'm just done with all the bullshit. It's just too much stress. That's all it is. It's stress, and stress is part of my problem with my heart. So I don't want to stress about this shit. So if it's too stressful, $1,200 is not worth me going back to the hospital and having thousands of more dollars in medical bills that I don't want to deal with. So even though my insurance covers a good chunk of it, they don't cover everything. Let's see here. Pokemon for Switch is all you're waiting for? Nice. Nate's check is basically the Netflix Nintendo argument all over again. Yeah, basically. Bouncing back and forth between who's going to pay me. It's literally the Netflix. It's their fault. No, it's their fault. No, it's their fault. It's like, oh my God. I don't want to deal with it. It's just bullshit. I'm back to work. Leave me the fuck alone now. I'll just make my own money. Zach Karinsky. That's why you do desk work. I am doing desk work, actually. It just doesn't pay me much. But it's life. Have you ever asked both the disability office and the unemployment office to call each other? That's how I got them to figure it out when I fractured my back. I did, actually. Last time I went in, I made the disability office call the unemployment office, and they basically stuck to their guns, and they said, look, you're working, so you're not disabled. But I'm not allowed to work my old job. Doesn't matter, you're still allowed to work. And it's stupid, because people get injured all the time. It was a non-work related injury, so it's not like I expected, my whole job to cover it or anything. But, like, it's just dumb. My mom actually dealt with something that was really bullshit. She actually shattered her ankle while working, like 10 years ago. Her ankle just literally shattered at work. And only, basically, it took her 10 years and several lawsuits for her to finally get any money out of that situation. And that was work related. She got $50,000 out of it, which is nothing because she's had, like, God, I think over $1 million worth of surgeries done on her ankle by now. And she's permanently screwed up and now probably going to get it amputated, which that sucks. But that's a totally different story for another time. But for her to get disability and all this crap, it took her a decade to get $50,000, which, yeah, it's a nice chunk of money. But over the course of a decade, that's not that much money. And she was getting literally zero paychecks. If my dad wasn't the CTO of a major company, a semi-major company. This shouldn't even call it a major company, but a decent company. If he wasn't CTO, I don't know what my family would have done because my mom can't work. It's too much pain. Day to day, she doesn't know if she can walk. So, even doing a desk job for her, it can be really painful and stressful. So, it's one of those situations where they screwed with my mom hardcore, and it took lawsuits to get money. I'm not going to do lawsuits to get a potential $1,200. It's not worth the hassle to me. So, welcome to Wisconsin and how much these companies just fucking you over. The only good news out of all of it is that I was able to successfully switch my health insurance to the state health insurance. And the state health insurance is way better. It covers almost everything with zero deductible. There is some copays on a few things, but it's not that bad. And I was able to get my new pair of glasses I have coming for free off of that. My contacts aren't free, although the ones I'm wearing right now are free. But if I order contacts, those aren't covered by it. But that's not covered by a lot of insurances, so that's nothing new. But yeah, that was nice that I was able to get on state health insurance. Just because it's just so much better. It's better than most private health insurance. So it was nice that I was able to switch to that since my income level has sunk so low. I'm allowed to be on state health insurance now, which is nice. But that's a separate thing. That's just based on how much money you're actually making. That's not like them giving you a check or something. So I'm not saying you need to go to college, Nate. I'm already in college. So yeah, that's the problem with college. It's it's harder to get a job nowadays without a degree. I don't know if it's harder. I think it's the same as it's always been. What actually sucks now is you'll spend $60,000 to $100,000 to get a degree, and then never end up working a job with that degree, and that sucks. Eric is in a situation right now where Eric from the Nintendo Prime podcast, he has 3 or 4 degrees, and he's still not working a job related to anything he actually went to college for. I mean, he works in IT. He didn't go to college for IT. I'm sure his degrees helped him get a job, but that's not really what he went to college for. He's making less money than he should be. It's just, that's the world we live in, It sucks. That's brutal. Mine was work-related too, and I'm tempted to sue after being denied workers' comp twice. Yeah, dude. My mom went through some tough shit. She is very fortunate that my dad, that at the time it happened, my dad wasn't working at Domino's anymore. Because my dad used to work at Domino's, and he was like a bigwig supervisor and all that, and thought about buying a store. But he went back to college, became a programmer, and does email migration stuff. And is at a big company. Well, it's not even a big company. It's a small company, but they do big contracts. And my dad's lucky that at the time that this happened to my mom, that he was actually making enough money where she didn't need to work anymore. Very fortunate. I'm in a situation where my fiance can work. Don't get me wrong. She's a wonderful, amazing human being and can work. But she has mental problems. I'm not going to get into too many specifics, but it makes it hard for her to hold down a job. And it's not because of laziness or anything. It's literally some very, very serious problems. You know how there's like a scale on depression? She's off the charts. And that's after therapy and medicine, and it's hard. I don't know how many of you guys know. I mean, a lot of us work with depression. I still have jobs. But she, like, sometimes just waking up can be a chore. Like, can be like a really big daily struggle. There's just a lot with her that I'm trying to make it. As I've done for most of the past 8 years, made it where she didn't have to work. And right now, it sucks. The thing that hurts me the most is that she now is trying to go back to work when she's not ready to help me, because I am unable to fully pay for everything on my own right now without help. So she is, she should be in a new job here in the next couple of weeks. But again, I don't know how long she's going to be in that job, because she mentally can't hold jobs for very long. So that's all. I'll just leave it at that. And it's a tough situation, but I do my best. I love her to death, and I don't, just like my mom, I don't want her to ever be left wanting in life. So. This whole thing's just a business. They're gonna fuck people over and make it difficult so that they don't think. That's what it is. It's all a business. And then especially for someone like me, they don't expect me to go to court and make a legal matter out of it and wait years and years to get my money, because it's gonna cost me more money to fight it than I'm gonna get back. So what's the point? And even if I got them to cover all the lawyer fees, it's still like years of stress over a little amount of money. At least my mom, $50,000 is not nothing to scoff at. Like that's not an amount of money you just let go. But I'm not looking at 50,000 here, so it's not like it's not like, to me, like $1,200, potentially $1,200 anyways. Maybe it's only 1,000. I don't know. It's not really worth me trying to fight over it. It'd be different if this was like an injury or like a health thing that literally made it so I can't work. And then they were still denying me. Like if disability was denying me and I was literally unable to work anymore. Let's just say, yeah, I can do this YouTube thing, but in terms of like actual work out in the world, I can't do it. Right? If that happened, that would suck. And if they denied me, then we're talking potential legal repercussions, because now we're just talking about how, like, hey, that's what disability's for people who are disabled. But I'm not permanently disabled. At least we don't think so. Obviously, if it keeps going on and I keep failing my tests and really get a year into it, you can start to say, hey, look, I probably am disabled because I'm not getting any better. If I lose all my weight and my blood pressure doesn't change and I'm still having heart attacks, obviously, I'm not getting better, so then I should be able to qualify for disability, because at that point, it's now, this is a major health thing that isn't going away. But I'm hoping that's not what happens. So I don't want to think about like worst case scenarios where like I have to worry about dying every day. I don't want to think about that kind of stuff. So, your mom goes to college. My mom did go to college. She has a social worker's degree. Do you still own any game consoles? Well, there's the DS right there, and the PlayStation 3 over there. That's about all I got right now. I think I have a Game Boy Pocket somewhere too. In one of my boxes in my storage room in my office. Reggie was at Pizza Hut. He worked at Pizza Hut. But he was like a bigwig. He wasn't like my dad was a supervisor, but Reggie was like towards the top. I don't know if he was CEO. He might have been CEO. I can't remember. But he was like at the top or towards the top of Pizza Hut. Don't feel guilt over something you couldn't control, Nate. I mean, I know I can't control. Here's the thing, like people say don't feel guilt over something you can't control. Bottom line is the heart attack happened because I have high blood pressure and because I don't deal with stress well. I don't deal with stress well. Partially, you can argue because I used to have depression, probably still have some mild forms of depression that I'm just not treating right now. So you can argue that that's probably something I was born with because my entire family has depression. So, okay, cool. Like, I can't control that. But, like, the high blood pressure happened because I'm overweight. Bottom line. It happened because I'm obese. And that is something I can control. And that's something I controlled and failed miserably at my entire adult life. Because if you guys see a picture of me when I was 19 and you look at a picture of me now, holy crap, what the hell did I do to myself? So it's one of those situations where, like, yeah, I can't control that I had a heart attack, but I could have prevented me from having it by never letting myself get this fat in the first place. So you can argue it's my fault anyways. Heart attack wouldn't have happened if I wasn't fat. My hernia wouldn't have happened if I wasn't fat. My knee problem, that's from when I was a kid, so that's nothing new. That's kind of stuff that, I can't do. I can't help now, but yeah, it's just, it all stems, I'm overweight. And yeah, I'm probably part of my overweight is probably due to the depression, but I don't want to use that as an excuse because it's not an excuse. I could have still kept the weight off. I was able to keep it off when I was a kid. I could have kept it off as an adult. So it's one of those situations where I can't control when the heart attack happened, but it's my fault that it happened at all. So, of course, I'm going to feel guilt about it. But I'll be all right. It's not like I'm beating myself up over it. I'm losing weight now. I'm on the path to recovery. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. So, I had my sister picked up Switch Lite on launch day and brought it to me. Nice. You should always look for the positive. I try to. One thing I like to do in life is look at the little things. It's easy to focus on some of the big things like, oh, man, I could die. This heart attack thing's a pretty big deal. Oh my gosh, I'm not making as much money as I used to do because of it. How am I going to pay bills? What's this or that? That's a pretty big deal. There was some drama in my relationship, in the aftermath of all this. Like, that's a pretty big deal for me because that's the person I'm spending the rest of my life with. And obviously the big positive I turned around is that now we're getting married and we have a wedding almost, I think, well, we know what wedding date we want. We'll find out in the middle of October, when we meet with the priest to decide on what date it's going to be. But besides that, I'm trying to find the beauty in the little things. Like tonight, before my fiance left, she lit some candles in the house. Did the candles need to be lit? Did the house stink? No, everything was fine. She just thought it looked pretty, and she didn't say anything to me about it. She just gave me a hug, said she loved me before she went to hang out with a friend, and left. And I just, I turned around and I'm like, man, this candlelight's beautiful. And I really appreciated in that moment the beauty of that candlelight. Because, again, like, I could have been dead several times over the last month. And I'm still here and can still appreciate that little beauty in the candlelight. I sat outside for a bit before the stream, looking up at the stars and just appreciating the beauty of the stars and our place in this universe and this planet. Hearing the crickets and just feeling the wind on my face, and even just sitting here in this office where, like, yeah, things aren't perfect. There's some messes in this office. I got a mess of paperwork over there I got to clean up. A little mess here for my kids. I have a bucket full of crap I have to go through. Even this desk is a little bit messy right now because I haven't been down here to really maintain and pick some of the stuff up. But there's also things in my office that it's just kind of nice. Like, looking at what I did in the background here with this, like, I look at that and I'm like, yeah, I know I don't have the Switch. I do have the SNES Mini in my house, but I know I don't have the Switch anymore. That's my launch box for my Switch. But you know, I had such a damn good time with the Switch while I had it. Damn good time with Octopath and the SNES and the D. Like, there's so many good memories just in this little thing here that, like, how can I not appreciate that? You know, I look back at like that art back there, you know, one of the Poe sisters, and it's like, man, you know, all the good memories from Ocarina of Time and all the Zelda games I played, and even Yoshi. I got a picture of my daughter right here. I'll show you guys if it'll even come off my computer. It's a little stuck. There we go. So I got like a picture of my daughter here. Now this picture's from 2015 when she was in preschool. She's in second grade now. Or no, she's in third grade now. So it's a little bit older, but like that's my daughter there. And God, I love her so much. And I'm so appreciative of my children. Even though my children are the source of like 90% of my stress, they're also the source of a lot of my happiness too. So like, you know, I try to be positive and stay positive. It can be hard at times, but there's just, when you start to appreciate all the little things in life, it becomes easier to stay positive. And my fiance taught me that because she's someone who deals with a lot of demons, and how she's able to get through her day sometimes is just looking at the little things. So, Nate, Lego Star Wars is coming to Switch. The new one? The Skywalker Saga is coming to Switch? Is it really? It wasn't as of E3, but I haven't kept up. Let me see here. It is coming to Switch. Hell yeah! Hell yeah! All right. Well, that's being added to my must-buy list for Switch. That game looks so good. It's releasing next year. But still, that's okay. All right. I'm going to add that to my... I'm literally adding that to my cart on Amazon right now. Just so I remember. Dude, that game looks so good. You guys didn't get to see... Have they released footage of the Behind Closed Doors demo yet? Like, the Behind Closed Doors demo at E3 was insane. It was insane. It was one of the best games I saw at E3. It was so good. Oh, man, I can't wait. Retro Gaming Caveman. What's up, dude? You hanging in there? Sure am. Still here. Still alive. Still alive. Some people have footage up. There was like a half hour, 20-minute demo. Sorry, texting here. Woo! I have a little bit of a cold. Catches up to me more at night than during the day, as it gets colder out. What's up? We should take the DLC seriously for Link's Awakening. I did an article on the eShop description. Oh man. Yeah, sorry about that. I do have a cold. I've done a good job hiding it most of the stream, but there's DLC coming in. I wasn't aware. I'm not aware of any DLC coming in. So that's news to me. Gotta go. Fire Soul later, man. All right, you guys got any more questions tonight, or am I going to be wrapping this bad boy up? There's no DLC. Yeah, I didn't think there was any DLC coming, but here, this thing says, no, this is just someone asking if there's DLC. Release dates for DLC have not been announced. Oh, it says that like on the official page. Yeah, there probably isn't DLC coming. If there is, I would imagine it before like the Dungeon Maker mode, but you know, who knows. I got a capture card and I'm going to stream soon. Got any advice other than don't say or do stupid things? Oh, man. There's a lot of advice I can give. Some that I need to follow myself that I'm not doing right now. Are you going to be on camera or are you just going to do voiceover gameplay? For starters. Neither are wrong. I mean, on camera is usually more successful, but you can do voiceover gameplay like Game Explain example. They don't do on camera stuff. You published that story on what, the Amino thing? Because that's where I found it was on Amino. That's where I saw the story anyway. It was on the Amino app. I used to have the Zelda Amino thing on my phone. Wonder what I ever did with it. I used to be a huge part of the community because I ran Zelda Informer. And then, like, obviously I don't do that anymore. But the camera's been on the whole time. I didn't even notice. I'll be doing both, but mostly be on camera with gameplay. Yeah, so stream layout. Make sure you have a stream layout. This stream layout I'm using now, I don't really like it that much. I'm not very good at making stream layouts. You guys know I have various other stream layouts. Like this one I have. This one's to use green screen ? Game. This is apparently my Nintendo Direct layout. This is just me. This is what I do when I record videos. This is when I'm looking at like websites and stuff. So having a good stream layout is key. I don't personally think I have any good stream layouts. I think all of my stream layouts suck. I've debated on hiring someone to make stream layouts for me. The problem with that is I don't have money right now, so I can't really hire anyone. But having a good stream layout is good. Having to be organized, having everything make sense. My layout right now is kind of hodgepodge, but you know, like I really like Player Essence's stream layouts a lot. So just pay attention to good stream layouts. If you're going to do you on camera, I would try to green screen it if you can. You don't have to. There are ways to set up stream layouts where you don't have to have a green screen. But if you have a green screen, it does open up a lot of possibilities. Like, well, Bob Wolf has a very simple stream layout, but it makes sense, easy to understand, and he's green screened into it. So like, it's one of those things where just make sure you have a good stream layout. If you have a green screen, great. If you don't, you don't. It's okay. Or a blue screen, because like as you see, that's the back side of my portable green screen you see there, and it's blue. So I can technically use a blue screen too if I want. I might even start using it because my green screen sign got a little messy. If you guys remember the egg smash, there's a bunch of egg on the green screen now, and it doesn't wash off very well, as I found out. So, have I played Sushi Striker? Yes, I have. So that's some advice. Otherwise, I mean, microphone. Make sure you wear headphones when you play, so you don't have any reverb from the game. That's a big thing too. Make sure you're wearing headphones, so the microphone you're using, even if it's a headset microphone, whatever. You do not want the game audio to go through to your audience twice. There are, contrary to popular belief, there are at least 2 free ways you can stream in terms of having an application on your computer. OBS is what I use, but there's also XSplit. Both are fine. Both have their ups and downs. They both have strengths and pitfalls. So find out which one works best for you. There are other things out there that are nicer than OBS and nicer than XSplit that you can pay for. But be wary because sometimes they can be difficult to work with. It's all about what works for you. I use Streamlabs for my notifications. I actually use Streamlabs OBS because I find it to be easier to integrate Streamlabs and OBS together with that. So that's just something to consider as well, and that's absolutely free. You go to streamlabs.com and you can figure that out. That's how you can get like alerts. It doesn't have to just be like donations. Like it can be like subscribers or likes and follows and blah, blah, blah. So, it would be funny if you were upside down just to see the reactions. I can make myself upside down, I think. I don't actually think it's that hard. Let me see. Let me see if I can get it to work. Where is my... This. Oh, it doesn't let me easily go upside down. Damn. I was hoping it would let me just like flip the camera, but it's not letting me do it. I bet you if I looked into it, there's probably a way for me to flip the camera if I wanted to, like a way to crop it and have the crop flip or mirror it or something. But I can't. It won't let me do that right now for some reason. Egg smash. That was a great stream. Okay, good to know. Yeah, as I said, I still have some egg on my desk. I got it. I really like it. There's actually egg on my monitor too. I gotta clean this up. Like I said, I haven't been in here since that night, so I gotta clean it up. Dang fruit flies. We had a fruit fly problem because my kids left an apple core in my office. that I didn't know that was underneath this couch. So then I had a fruit fly problem. I got rid of most of them. They're all over on this apple cider trap thing I created out of an old Tupperware container, and it's been working really well. But there's still a few flying around in here. And the reason that one was here is because my chili was here, so I had to come check out my chili. Dang fruit flies. Did you see what DSP said? He was joking about national lights is okay in general fashion. I don't even know what nationalities. National lights. God, I was reading that wrong. He was joking about nationalities is okay in general. I don't have any comment on that. I don't really know what he said. So, which is better, Twitch or YouTube? Depends. Twitch is probably a better overall live streaming platform, but there's some caveats there. It has a lot more tools. You can do a lot more on Twitch. Like I could play games with you guys, like in the chat and stuff, and do live polls and all these crazy things you can't do on YouTube. But I prefer YouTube personally, just because I am a YouTuber and it's the platform I'm used to and it's a platform I like. So, start the stream next time upside down. Comment section. Why are you upside down? Tim Cook. We present to you the Apple Core. Chile. I broke a VCR back in the day by shoving PB&J into it as a kid. Shout out the parachute of that BS. That's pretty bad. I broke a VHS player. What did I shove in it? God. I think they took away my NES, and I stuck some NES games into the VCR, hoping they would play. Oh my God, I was that kid. I got 15 bits today for the first time on Switch. Congrats, man. 15 cents? It's a big deal, man. I still use a VCR. The bit block. How's it going, man? Aha, you got the Halloween logo going. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, dude. VCR, man. I think I might actually have... You know what? I do have a working VCR. I do have a VCR. It's out in my garage, but I do have a VCR. I kept it for all my old Disney movies. I have all my old Disney VHSs. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Twitch is more lenient when it comes to streaming. That's for sure. I have old Halloween/Christmas videos that aren't on DVD, so I have a DVD player with a VHS section built into it. Oh, yeah, one of those old school DVD VHS combos. Nice. Yeah, dude, there's some old school Halloween. Like, I have the original, like the Halloween movie, like the movie Halloween and Halloween H2O and stuff like that. I have those on VHS. They're awesome. Those are classics. I think I have a way to stream them now, though, so I don't need to. Most of the movies I have on VHS, I think I have a way to stream, but there are a few I don't. I think that's why I kept my VCR, just on the off chance I have to stream. I want to watch an old movie. Like I've got Top Gun. I think I've got that one on VHS. I have the original Star Wars trilogy on VHS as well, although there's a billion ways to watch that now. But yeah, I kept a working VCR just on the off chance I want to watch something. Last time I watched something was out in the garage. That's why it's out there. I had an old TV out there too as well, a CRT TV that I was watching it on while I was doing some garage work. Crazy. Nintendo Switch has no VCR player. I will not buy. You have Shrek on VHS. Nice. Yeah, I've got. I gotta go find. They're in a bucket out in the garage. I have a bucket of all my VHS movies. Some of them I should probably bring in here just because they're like the original Star Wars trilogy. Like it's a cool collector's thing. But yeah, nothing wrong with VHS. It was a fun format while it lasted. I can tell you one thing though. I don't like rewinding, or like if you're trying to skip to a part in it. God, like fast forwarding and rewinding, man, it takes me back to when I was a kid. But I hate it. I hate it. There's some things I like about even DVDs in comparison to VHS. Oh, man. The Star Wars prequels on VHS? Nice. Yeah, I have a lot of old Disney movies. Bambi and Snow White, Lion King. The original Toy Story, I think I'm on VHS. Cinderella, Snow White. I got a lot of old Disney movies on. The rewind function. Oh man, dude. Like when you go back to VHS, like at first you think it's really cool. It's like, oh yeah, I remember this rewind, and then it's like, okay, this is a little. I kind of miss my modern conveniences. You used to record your favorite TV shows on VHS tapes in the early 2000s. I saved all the old tapes. They're in my parents' basement, but my mom is always yelling at me to take. Yeah, dude. I remember. So there were so many. I used to record. I have like the entirety of the Ninja Turtles original cartoon series on VHS somewhere that I recorded from TV somewhere. Somewhere in my parents' basement is all of my old tapes with a whole bunch of TV shows. It's crazy. Crazy. I probably have some old cassettes down there too. I used to make mixtapes on cassettes by recording songs off the radio with them. Come on, we all did that. Who back in the day used cassette players and did not record songs off the radio and make mixtapes? Come on. We all did that. Let's be real. And there is a box somewhere that has all of my cassette tapes with all my mixes. Somewhere. I gotta find that. I do have a cassette player. I have a boombox with a cassette player. I gotta find it, man. I gotta find it. God, listen to all those '90s tunes I used to listen to. Goofy movie, an extremely goofy movie. I got those on VHS. Yep, I got those ones. Let's go to the Dells sometime. I do go to the Dells once in a while. Usually like once a year. Did I go to the Dells this year? Yeah. Well, we went once this year. I took my kids there once this year. No, twice this year actually. We went to Kalahari. Around tax return time, and then we went again this summer, because it was like $150 for a night stay and 4 water park passes or something for my kids. So we did that one time this summer too. So if you can't find that cassette box, just blame it on robbers. We all know you like Backstreet Boys. Oh yeah, Backstreet Boys are on the mixtapes for sure. I'm sure there's Britney Spears all over those mixtapes as well. Christina Aguilera, probably some NSYNC, probably. Some Green Day. I used to be big in the Green Day. Have I ever used Blu-ray? Of course I have. You sound like an old person. Back in my day. That's what it feels like, though. Like, dude, cassette. Dude, you guys remember Home Alone? Okay. The movie Home Alone. And the little toy cassette recorder he had. You know, that looks a little bit like this. You know, with the two ends going out. I had that as a kid. I actually owned that toy before the movie came out. And I thought it was so cool. The Talk Boy, yeah. Dude, I thought it was so cool. When he had that. And I used to record my mixtapes with that before I realized you could record the mixtape directly on the boombox. I used to take the microphone up to the speaker on the radio with my Talk Boy to record the music. Oh my God. So great. Oh, the Talk Boy, man. Oh, you're just still in the box, too. That's awesome. I don't know what happened to mine. It probably broke at some point when I was a kid. But, oh, man. There's a lot of good things from back in those days. That just some things from my childhood that I have a lot of fond memories of. I remember Pogs. God, Pogs used to be such a big thing for like 2 years. Beanie Babies were a huge deal for a while, too. So many toys back then. The Pocket Rocker, nice. You should get Billiam on a Talk Boy episode. I had a sick Pog collection, nice. Funko Pops are the new Beanie Baby. Yeah. I think Funko Pops are like the new Beanie Baby kind of thing. It's like that new collectible that you don't really do anything with, but I mean, there's like bragging rights if you have certain parts of the collection or all that stuff. I had a small, tiny little answering machine sized tapes that I had like a few songs on it. Nice. Yeah, you remember when answering machines used to be actual tapes? Like back in the day, answering machines on phones used to be little tiny tapes. And you'd have to like delete them or overwrite it when you get new messages to come in. They could only hold like 3 or 4 messages. No, I was not in the Barbie. My sister was into Barbie. I was not in the Barbie though. No. Never got into that. Amiibo used to be a thing. Yeah, Amiibo. Amiibo's still technically a thing. It's just, the fad is kind of gone away with Amiibo. Polly Pocket, but not Barbie. Nice. The little tapes at the top signals, and it was a battery-operated little tape player the size of a juice box. Nice. I remember when Burger King, with their Happy Meal toys, were giving out those Pokeballs with the gold-plated Pokemon inside. I used to think those were cool. I think I still have one somewhere. I think I have a Charizard one somewhere because that's my favorite Pokemon. I think I kept that one. Back in my day, we watched TV. I watched TV on Saturday mornings. Saturday morning cartoons were my jam. Used to watch a lot of Saturday morning cartoons. Didn't watch a lot of TV during the week, but on Saturday mornings, I was always allowed, like all morning from like 5 a.m. to noon, was allowed to watch cartoons, and it was awesome. Then as I grew up, I started watching like Cartoon Network and Adult Swim and all that stuff. But those were so sick. Why don't they do stuff like that, Burger King, these days? I have no idea. And they still do every now and then. McDonald's will every now and then have some really neat Happy Meal toys. And I'm only even aware of them because I have kids. So every now and then there'll be some really neat Happy Meal toys. But for the most part, most of the toys now with Happy Meals and all that are just garbage, just junk. Like long gone are the days when it'd be a new toy refresh at Burger King or McDonald's or wherever, Subway. That would be something really cool. I have a box full of Pokemon toys that came from Burger King. They're all plastic Pokeballs with a giant clip on them. Some were stuffed animals. The Vegemite was a wind-up toy. There were a bunch, yeah. I know what Adult Swim is, but why is it called that? Why not call it Mature Nighttime? One, Mature Nighttime doesn't sound as good as Adult Swim. Two, the idea was that it was supposed to be the time that Adult Swim starts, because it's supposed to be for adults. It is a late night cartoons that are intended to be watched by adults, that everyone knows is being watched by teenagers. Totally, everyone, like they know. They even put memes in the whole thing about they realize that teenagers are watching when it's really meant for adults. So it was called Adult Swim because it was supposed to be for adults, and it was supposed to be like taking a late night swim without the kids. Because adults, I don't know if you know this, as an adult, sometimes the best time to go swimming is at night because the kids aren't out. So then you can actually have the pool to yourself and actually enjoy it versus being splashed and jumped on by kids and all that. So the idea of taking the late night Adult Swim and making it like an adult time to watch TV, or like an adult time to enjoy cartoons. Oh, you have your Saturday morning cartoons, you have your Nickelodeons and your Disneys, but Adult Swim, that's the adult time to watch cartoons. And obviously they've moved beyond just Adult Swim. Like you can watch South Park at other times and stuff like that. But that was the intent anyways. Oh, skinny dipping with the wife. Yeah, that's not going to happen with the kids present. Saturday morning cartoons do still exist, yes. There's just a lot of channels now. Like back then, it was always like two, maybe 3 channels that had Saturday morning cartoons. Now it's like dozens. And at this point, do you call them Saturday morning cartoons anymore when there's cartoons on all the time? Because the channels these cartoons were on wouldn't normally have cartoons on in the morning. But now we have channels that have cartoons 24/7. You know, Disney, Nickelodeon, etc., Nick Jr. Like, they have cartoons 24/7, so it's like, is it really considered Saturday morning anymore when they just have cartoons all the time? But what does end up happening a lot, and this is more so, I don't know if this is like a Saturday morning thing, this is a weekend thing. On weekends seem to be when new episodes of cartoons come out. So, like, you'll be watching reruns of SpongeBob all week, but on the weekend, you'll get your new episode, or your 2 new episodes or whatever. So that seems to be more what they've done now, is they've taken the new episodes and shifted those to the weekend. Now, every now and then you'll have a special where they're like, oh, hey, new episodes debuting on like a Monday night or something, and they'll make like a big deal out of it. But a lot of new episodes of kid shows come out on weekends. And if you don't catch it on the weekend, you'll see it on repeat like once or twice the next week. But yeah, new episodes can be on whatever day they choose, but there still is more of them, from what I've noticed anyways, on weekends than during the week. But there's just so many cartoons now that, I can't keep up. There's just way too many. You think Bayonetta 3 will come out in 2020? Yes, I do actually think it'll come out next year, Zach. Back in my day, I took girls that belonged to plumbers, but now I fight crocodiles. Crikey! Most kids prefer on-demand nowadays, don't they? They do for their movies. TV shows, I've noticed, like with my kids, they do like on-demand TV shows, but they also like if I turn on like a normal, well, we have streaming TV here, but if I turn on like Nickelodeon or Disney or something, they do like just not knowing what's coming and just enjoying whatever comes on TV. They like that too. But yeah, obviously on-demand has kind of ruined some of it, but I do think that there's still some general enjoyment from watching a TV show and not always knowing what's going to come on next. And my kids kind of like that because it gives them a nice mix of stuff. What if you can make your own cartoons on Saturday morning? A 4-minute short voiced by you, Yulia, Eric, and Jeff Keighley. Man, I don't know if I have the talent to do that. Or cartoon holiday specials are the best. I'm friends with Jeff. I've never even met Jeff Keighley, so I can't say I'm friends with him. New episodes of Pokemon just appear on the Pokemon TV app. I've seen no pattern. TV guide exists, though. Yeah. All right. Well, it's getting kind of late. I think it's going to wrap it up. I'm going to go outside and probably look at the stars a little bit. And I don't know. Maybe listen to some music or something. Some mood music. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you had an awesome time at the stream. I don't think there's any super chat donations to thank today. So I'll just thank all you guys for showing up. It's awesome. I hope you enjoyed the stream. And I'll catch you probably in a new video tomorrow. Later, guys.